The stock of the day is brought to you by IG, Australia's #1 CFD provider. With over 17,000 markets and extended trading hours, turn US earnings season volatility into opportunity. Get started at IG.com.
So our stock of the day is Paladin, reaffirming production guidance for FY25 despite a lower production output at its Langer Heinrich mine in Namibia in the December quarter. The company saying a total mine production of 750,000 tonnes was in line with management expectations. At the end of December, Paladin held $166 million in unrestricted cash and short-term investments, and it's been a very positive reaction on the market this morning. As you can see, stock up almost 10%, and then I guess we consider the broader story just as far as uranium, demand, Trump. You put that all into the mix, Henry. How do you look at Paladin?
I think you look positively at Paladin. I think, this big push into AI and the infrastructure spend that Donald Trump is going to be doing is good for nuclear power, which ultimately is good for uranium. We haven't really seen the uranium price pick up to any extent, but Paladin, this report was a positive. They seem to have sorted out some of the watering issues they've reaffirmed guidance. The news was positive on the cash flows. It certainly, when you look at the numbers, they're on that production guidance, the revised one. And what's it? 3 to 3.6 million pounds uranium oxide, best month of production to date. The other thing that they have done, of course, is they have now taken over and completed that deal with Fission, which gives them another leg up, and it means that it's not just dependent on Langer Heinrich in Namibia. They've also got, that part of it with the Patterson Lake South, which does give them, they are the world's largest pure play uranium company. Or one of the world's largest pure play uranium companies. So, there's a lot to like about this, and I think that's why the market's up 9.4% today. I've owned this one for a while. We'll continue to own it, and its siblings, if you like, with Boss and Deep Yellow as well. So quite keen on the uranium story. All this AI investment is going to require power, and that's part of the attraction, I guess, on uranium. So for me, this remains still 9.4%. Maybe that's got a little bit ahead of itself today, but it's definitely a hold, and I'm more than happy to be holding it. If it slipped back a little bit, I think this news is good, and you'd probably be looking to buy it. There's been a significant improvement in recovery rates and that stabilization of water supply, which has been hindering that ramp up. So, all good news. Happy to hold.
Where would you buy? At what level?
Where would I buy it? Well, I think it's 91 cents in old money terms. It did that 10-for-1 consolidation, so $9.12. If you could pick it up in the low 800s, I guess, 820, 830, which is in the low 83s. It doesn't sound so bad, does it? When you're talking about it in pre the consolidation. But this one has been $14. So there's plenty of upside here if we see the uranium price pick up as well, which as yet we haven't, but who knows? But in the low 800s, I think it's a buy.
Andrew, what are your thoughts?
How do I follow that?
Sure, you can.
Henry is on fire this morning. It must be bringing the jacket out of retirement, Henry. I think that's maybe that's what's done it. It is. Look, I don't mind the uranium story, albeit the uranium spot price has obviously been under a little bit of pressure. It's looking at the chart. The chart itself seems to be sort of turning around. To Henry's very well made point relating to the uplift in AI and that spend, and of course that announcement we just saw before from President Trump, that seems a little weird to say that, you are going to see significant need for power, and uranium and nuclear is certainly going to be part of that mix. So broad picture thematically all makes sense. If you look at the valuation, it's trading at around 19 times earnings, and the forecast earnings per share growth next year is around 197%. So that's super cheap on that metric. Probably the only reason I would pause, Andrew, is I just look at the short interest, so the number of people that are betting that the share price is going to come under pressure. And I might add they're copping a bit of a bath today, given the 9% rise in the share price, but it's about 15% short. So it'd be one of the shorted companies on the ASX. So that would probably be the only thing that would give me pause. But again, to Henry's point, on any pullback, my rudimentary charting skills, which is awful, just to be frank with you, would be about $88.60 or thereabouts is probably the entry target. So thematics make sense, growth makes sense. It's probably just a little expensive on today's news. Wait for a pullback and just be mindful of that short interest. So it's a hold for the time.
That is a solid double hold for our stock of the day, Paladin.
The stock of the day was brought to you by IG. Turn volatility into opportunity this US earnings season with extended trading hours on over 110 key US shares. Get started at IG.com.